Afterwards, I saw that they are full of adultery, and there are so many illicit relations there that it has already become like an altogether permissible thing for them. And I said to them that on account of this, the taste, the smell, and the vision were ruined for them, because the aforementioned cruel king had unleashed on them the three aforementioned groups of slaves, so that they should go in and ruin the country. Since they went around and spoke obscene language among them, bringing foul speech into the country, and through obscene language the result was that the taste was ruined, so that all the tastes had the same flavor as a rotten carcass. And likewise they brought bribery into the country, and through this their vision was ruined, and their eyes became darkened. For so it states in Exodus 23:8 and Deuteronomy 16:19, because the bribery blinds the eyes of the wise. In other words, bribery makes the eyes blind, and similarly the slaves brought lechery into the country, and through this the smell was ruined, for lechery results in ruined smell. And look in another place in our words, Likutei Moharan 2:1-12, that lechery blemishes one's smell. Therefore, you should see that you repair the country from these three sins and seek after these people, slaves who brought the three sins into the country as mentioned, and drive them out. And when you do so and purge the country from these three sins, not only will the taste, the vision, and smell be repaired, but that moreover even the gardener who is lost from you will also be able to find. They did so, and they began to cleanse the country from these three sins. And they sought out the people, the slaves mentioned above, and they would grab someone and ask them, from where did you come here? Until they caught the slaves of the cruel king and drove them out, and they cleaned out the country from the sins. Meanwhile, there was a commotion. Maybe the insane one is the gardener after all, for there is an insane man going about who keeps saying that he is the gardener, and everyone holds him to be insane. And stones are thrown at him, and he is driven away, but maybe he is in fact the true gardener. They went out and brought him before these that sat and rectified the country, and also he, namely the deaf beggar who was telling all this, was there, and said, of course, I said, of course he is the gardener, the one they had previously called insane. Hence, I have a testament from there that I live the good life, for I myself repaired the country. Now I present you with my good life as a gift. There was a very grand celebration and supreme bliss there, and they were extremely happy. The first one had given them Chaim Aruchim, that is long life, and the other had given them Chaim Tovim, that is good life. And so all the beggars came afterwards to the wedding and gave them for a wedding discourse present the same thing that they had previously blessed them to be like themselves. Now they gave this to them as an absolute gift, Trasha Geshenk, which is a wedding discourse present. Third day. On the third day, the groom and bride again thought back, crying and longing. How can the third beggar be brought here, who was inarticulate, who stammered with his mouth? Meanwhile he came and said, I am here. And he fell on them and kissed them, and he too said that before, previously I had blessed you to be like me, now I give you for a wedding discourse present, that you be like me. You think that I am speech impaired. I am not speech impaired at all, except the utterances of the world, which are not praises to the Supernal One, have no completion. In other words, therefore, he appears to be like someone who is speech impaired, who cannot speak, for he wishes not to speak any word whatsoever of this world which is not praised to Hashem Yisbarach, to blessed God. Since talk that is not praised to Hashem Yisbarach has no perfection. Consequently, he stammers in his speech, but in truth I am not speech impaired at all. On the contrary, I am an advocate and a speaker, that is an orator extraordinaire, something that is a wild novelty. And I can say such wildly innovative riddles, poems, and songs that when I begin to speak my riddles, poems, and songs, there does not exist a creature in the world that will not want to hear me. In other words, there is not a creature in the world that will not want to hear his poems, etc. And contained in them are all the wisdoms. And I have an approbation to this from that great man who is called the truly benevolent man. This is the term Rabbeinu of blessed memory, the aggressor man, der Emeser Ish Chesed, and there is a whole story to this.